Welcome everybody to another edition of Combat Coverage. I'm here with a very special guest, Glory Kickboxing fighter Chi Lewis-Parry. Chi, how you doing today, man?
Top of the morning to you, lads. How are you?
Oh, we're doing fantastic. You know, a little hot outside, not that bad, but this is all about you right now, man. We want to tell you what is going on with Chi Lewis-Parry today as he's getting ready for Glory, Virginia.
What is going on in this precise moment, or just in general? Because I can give you both.
Give me both.
Precisely as you called, I was just making myself some coffee. My morning ritual. I've become a bit of a coffee connoisseur as of late. I'm in sunny Hollister, California, and in about 20 minutes I'm about to head down to the gym, aka, and get some working.
Now you're on the, I think it's the Glory 32 card for Virginia, which takes next Friday at the TEO Convention Center. You know, you're taking on Mo Greene in the bout. You know, how are your preparations going for that fight?
Well, the reality is I've been in preparation for like the last 4 months, because I've been in camp with DC for his first camp, then he obviously got injured and had to reschedule for 200. And then when we started camp for 200, I started helping Cain Velasquez for his camp as well, because he knew that he was going to be fighting Travis Brown, who statistically isn't too dissimilar from me. So I've been in camp for a long time, you know, and now I just get to focus on me. And I can't tell you enough how excited I am to step in the ring next Friday and do what I do best. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good one.
Now, you mentioned Daniel Cormier, Cain Velasquez. You know, how is it like training with, you know, two of the top heavyweight fighters in the UFC?
Oh, it's an unrivaled experience, you know. Originally, I was only meant to be in California for 6 weeks in prep for Daniel's first matchup with John. And the injury happened, so, you know, I said, look, you know, I've committed to this, I'll stay. And that just helped our relationship build, you know, and now I'm a part of AKA. Training with those guys every day, of course, you're not going to get better training anywhere else, you know. These guys are literally two of the best in the world. They both have the champion mindset, that whole mentality, that it's a lifestyle. And it's good to see that the work ethic isn't too dissimilar from what mine has been throughout my career.
Now, training with the both of them, have you learned anything new from them? How was it like, you know, training, you know, with different training partners? You got Cain Velasquez, you know, who's completely different from, you know, Daniel Cormier.
I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that I'm a tough son of a gun. You know, I can hang in there with the best of them. So that's does wonders for your confidence, and it lets you know that you are on track to achieving what I want to achieve. So there's never been any doubts in my head about my capabilities and where I'm going to go with my career. But just this whole experience has helped re-solidify. You know, the direction I'm going in is the right one.
Like I mentioned, you're taking on Mo Greene. You know, he's your next opponent coming up. You know, what are your thoughts on Greene as an opponent? Have you studied him at all?
Yeah. I've had a look at what Greene's about, and I'm just not impressed. You know, he's just a big guy that's game. He's game to fight, but he's got absolutely nothing that he could show me that I haven't seen every day in training. So at the end of the day, it is a fight, and I respect him. You know, because anything can happen. Anything can happen. You could be the champion of the world, and it could be all over in a minute. You know, so I respect that, but I'm not concerned about his what he's going to bring on Friday night.
You know, what's interesting about you is, you know, in past fights, you know, including when you talk about your debut for Glory, you took on Yeonsu Park. You know, out of the gate, you completely, you know, you put the pressure on the opponent. You know, you knocked out Park within like 8 seconds of the fight, and you won via knockout. You know, is that going to be your mindset, you know, coming up against Mo Greene? Are you going to be, you know, out of the gate, you know, putting the pressure on him?
Well, the fact that, well, is I'm very confident in my power. I'm very, very confident in my power. I know if I touch anybody, it doesn't matter what sport, anybody, I could be wearing 16s because I do it when I'm training. I can put people down with my power. So that's why it allows me to put the pressure on, and I'll continue to put the pressure on. Until that old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it's not broken, so there's no need for me to really fix it. And I will put the pressure on him, and I will put him away. As simple as that. There's no secret to my strategy. I'm putting Maurice Greene away.
Now, are you a fan of watching film on opponents, before fights? If so, is there anything, open, that you're going to be pushing against Maurice Greene?
Yeah, I mean, look, I watch my opponents and watch film like I'm studying for an exam. The biggest test of the year in school, I'm about to graduate, and I need to do some revision, and that's exactly what I do. I revise my opponents, and I see where they're strong. I see their movement. More importantly, I like to see how they move and how they operate around the environment. And then, when I get in there, nothing's new. I'm like, oh, I've seen this before 1,000 times. So I'm a very studious person. I like to know what I'm going into. I don't just like going there blind. I know a lot of guys are just like, fuck it, I'll just go in blind. But that's not me. I'm not like that. I like to know what I'm doing, know what I'm up against. So in that respect, they do have my respect. My opponent always has my respect. But the result is always going to be the same. I'm a very capable and confident person. So what happens is just a testament to my own belief.
You're currently 2-1. You're ranked number 12, by the official Glory rankings on their website. You're heading into your 4th fight with the promotion. If you pull out a victory against Maurice Greene, where do you think that will put you in the Glory heavyweight division and in the rankings?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a little bit pissed off that I'm not in the top 10. You just revealed that to me. I've not been following the rankings too much. Because at the end of the day, the rankings don't really mean anything. People want to see exciting fights. People want to see the best fight, the most exciting, or the most showman. So I know that after this fight, I'm not interested in fighting any more Maurice Greenes. I'm not interested in fighting, rematches and stuff like that. Well, no, that's a lie. I do want a rematch with Vigny. That's probably the only one that does interest me. But I want to fight Rico. This has been, I don't care about the ranking. But the fans don't care about the rankings. The number 1 has to fight the number 2. They just want to see 2 guys that are going to go in there, and it's not going to a decision. That's what they want to see. And you're not going to get that with me. I'm not going to a decision. I'm not going to a decision. So I'm either knocking you out, or I'm going out on my shield. So fans want to see that. So I want Rico. Or I want the rematch with Vigny. It's as simple as that. I don't want to dance around all these other opponents just to fill in cards. I want to be involved in the big fights, the ones that make sense to the fans, because at the end of the day, the fans are the ones that are paying to see us, and they want to be entertained. If you put in 2 guys that have fought each other 3 or 4 times already, they're not going to be so interested. They're not going to be too excited about it. So I want to fight for the belt, and I either want to put him away, or I'm quite happy to be put away, but on my shield.
Now, we have a couple more questions before we let you go. Now, Chi, you also compete in mixed martial arts. Kickboxing is another fantastic sport. I love watching Glory. Is there a time scale when we'll see you back into the octagon, back into inside the cage? You compete alongside with ONE FC as well. Is there a timetable when we'll see you in the cage at some point?
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure if it's going to be end of this year or beginning of next year, but I'll 100% be back in the cage and doing my thing with 4 ounces. So stay tuned. I don't have any immediate news right now or anything to tell you, but know that I will be competing in MMA once again.
That's awesome. One last question before we let you go. Can you give us some advice, for a professional fighter, kickboxer? Can you give us advice to, some of the aspiring, wrestlers, fighters who want to make, a combat sport their profession, their job?
Sure. It's actually something I enjoy talking about, because I think a lot of times people they misunderstand what the fight game is about, and it can seem worlds apart from your real life. So if you haven't been in that environment, in the fight environment, since a young age, then it can seem like it's really far. Like it's impossible to do. But the reality is, there are natural athletes that just pick things up and just do it, and then there are those grafters, those people that have to work hard, but then they still succeed, And I think the important thing is to find out which one of those people you are. Are you one of those natural people that just seems to go in? You can go in there and you can give a seasoned veteran some difficulty. You might not beat them, but you can give them some difficulty at the beginning stages. Or are you one of those people that you've been doing it for a year and you still feel like you haven't really gotten any better? Well, there's two ways to go around that. You need to find out. You might potentially need a new coach, or you might be one of those people that you need to find out the method that works for you to learn. Because we all do learn differently. We're all unique individuals, and we learn differently. What I teach you may not work for Joe or Bob or Sarah, but it might work. What I teach them may work for all three of those, but it might not work for you. So it's you need to find a coach that is gonna be able to channel the way that they teach and cater it to you. It's not rocket science. That's the one thing as well. People overcomplicate stuff, and they feel like you have to know how to do spinning stuff and jump in the air and leapfrog a car in order to be a martial artist. That's the furthest from the truth. It is just good, honest dedication and hard work. I train every single day, twice a day. And I remember a time when I was first started, I was told, you got to train twice a day. I was like, man, I can't do that. It's too hard. I had to accept it in my head that was normal. And you only really get that by, travel. Everyone can travel to the best gyms in the world. Here in the US, there are thousands of gyms that have the elite of the fighters within them. So travel to these gyms, go there for a weekend. Just see how these guys work. You work out, do your thing, but see how other people work out that are at the top, and then you have an understanding. At least you'll have a template on what you should be doing and doing it the right way. But for the most part, you just got to be dedicated and stay the course. Stay on that track. When you feel like quitting, run a little bit faster. Just stay the course, because you will get there. It's taken me a while, but I'm here now.
Yes. This is Chi Lewis-Parry. He's going to be taking on Mo Greene on UFC Fight Pass on the Stacked Glory Super Fight Series. Chi, I apologize. Thank you so much for your time. Good luck for your fight next week at Glory 32 Virginia. And just have fun out there, man. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. You have a fantastic day.
You too.